Hi, it's Carrie. In today's 5-Minute Friday, I'm going to show you how you can appraise a journal quickly. Maybe you watched one of my past 5-Minute Fridays on Think, Check, Submit, which provides you with questions that you can ask about a journal before you submit to it. So by looking into some aspects of a journal, you can decide if it's a journal that you'd like to publish with. We will look today at a journal called Oncotarget. I am not going to make any suggestions one way or the other. I'm going to remain neutral on this. I just want you to know what to look for. So here we are on the Oncotarget homepage, and you'll probably want to just take a look at the homepage, maybe read through some of the information. You can look at the editorial policies of the journal and see if they mention peer review. I usually do Control F and see if they have a stated peer review policy. So you can read more about the peer review policy for Oncotarget here. You can read about some of the other policies that they have. You can go back to the home page, and from here you might check out the editorial board. Now I like to Google people on the editorial board. So let's just pick one. I'll pick Andrew V. Shalley. You can read more about Andrew V. Shalley here. Maybe we should Google him. I'll just open up another window, pop his name in there, and see what we can find out. And if what they say on the page clicks with what we can find here. So we might check through the first couple of results. We could read on Wikipedia more about Dr. Shalley, and we could do that with some of the other members just to make sure that these are real people. The next thing we'll want to do is see if we can find an ISSN number and then verify it to make sure it's real. So I'm going to copy it and I'm going to go over to the ISSN portal. This is a free website that anybody can use, and I'll just paste the ISSN number here. So we want to see if it's a valid ISSN number. And in fact, it does come up with a result. Sometimes it won't come up with a result, and that would be a red flag. Another thing we can do if it's an open access journal is look in the directory of open access journals. Journals have to apply to be listed in the DOAJ, and in order to apply and be listed, they have to meet certain criteria. So let's look for Oncotarget here. And I don't find anything in DOAJ for Oncotarget, even though Oncotarget is an open access journal. The next thing I would do is see if I can find an address for Oncotarget. So I'm going to go to contact information on the journal's homepage. And in fact, they have given us an address. And they have given us a map. And actually, they've given us a view of their office building. Let's verify it and see if it's correct. We can go to Google Maps, or you could open up your own Google Maps tab. And we can scroll in, zoom in, closer to Oncotarget. And from here, we can click and then select Street View. And then we have to select a place on the street that we'd like to view. And here we can see this is the building where Oncotarget has an address. Sometimes you'll find them in a strip mall, or you won't find one at all. It'll be an open field. Keep in mind, you might find one with a post office box, so the address doesn't jive with the idea that you might have of a publishing house, but that's one thing you can do. And the next thing you can do is see if it's indexed in MEDLINE. So I have some videos on what it means to be indexed in MEDLINE versus being indexed in PMC. So we'll go to PubMed, and we'll go down under Explore, we'll go to Journals. There's a difference between being indexed in MEDLINE and being indexed in PMC. To be indexed in MEDLINE, it's a very rigorous process. So here we see information for the journal Oncotarget. We see those ISSN numbers again, and the current indexing status is not indexed in MEDLINE, although it looks like for a time it may have been. Let's add this to the search builder over here on the right. Let's search PubMed, and we'll see that these articles from Oncotarget do come up in a PubMed search, even the very latest issue of June 2022. And the reason for that is that journals can still show up in PubMed or PMC, PubMed Central, without being indexed in MEDLINE. And that is scary. So you still have to be really careful and do your critical appraisal and take all this extra effort to investigate the journal itself, because just because it's showing up in PubMed doesn't really mean a whole lot. We want to see if it's indexed in MEDLINE. And also you can do that by going down here to additional filters and picking the journal category, selecting MEDLINE, and then you have to select it again. And we'll see which ones of these, which ones of these are actually indexed in MEDLINE, and we saw that run from 2010 to 2017, so it stops around 2017. We don't see current issues of Oncotarget indexed in MEDLINE, and that's because it stopped. Well, you're going to have to make your own decisions, but those are some ways that you can check out a journal. You want to look at the editorial board, Google the people, make sure they're real. Look at the editorial policies, see if there's a peer review policy in place. Look for an ISSN number and then validate it in the ISSN portal. If it's an open access journal, you can look in the directory of open access journals. And if it's a health or medical or biomedical journal, you can see if it's been indexed in MEDLINE. And don't forget Google Maps. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.